Facebook world. How is it going? Welcome back for another Facebook Live Friday session here at noon. And I am so thankful you are joining us. So, you know what to do, especially because my computer's going to glitch and we know it. I see several of you joining right now. If you know what this is all about, I want you to throw me the thumbs up emoji. Go ahead. Go ahead. Throw it up. Okay. I see you. Yes. So if you know what this is, throw that thumbs up emoji and we will get going. Hello to you, Amanda. I'm so excited you're here. Okay. And if you've never been to a Facebook Live, if you've never tuned in, but you saw maybe in the parent Facebook group or in one of the Tulsa area groups, any of the groups, that we're going live today to talk about Learning Fund and assets, which are very big deals around here right now, then throw me a heart emoji. Show me that you've never been here before. Just mash it as many times as you want. Okay. Okay, I see you coming through. This is awesome. Kristen, hello to you too. Tina, I'm liking the thumbs up. Look at those highs. Hello, Stephanie. Hello. Okay, so we do have a very special episode today. We've got a couple of guests. We've got Chandler and Jamie coming to us from the Learning Fund Department, and they have assured me that they are not going to answer any questions today, right? I'm just kidding. I'm a jokester. Maybe it's the fall weather. Maybe it's I've got my new Epic Charter shirt on. I don't know. Have you guys seen this one? I'm pretty excited. It looks really awesome.
I like that.
Chandler and Jamie, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Chandler, I know that they know who you are, but we're going to get to you again anyway. I'm going to ask you a crazy oddball question. Jamie, tell us who you are. How long have you been with Epic, and what is your role here at Epic?
I'm Jamie Gonzalez. I have been with Epic for just shy of 2 years, and I am one of two Learning Fund coordinators.
Excellent, excellent. And Chandler, show us your shirt today because you've got a pretty phenomenal shirt on. Just pull it down. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I'm loving it. If you like Chandler's shirt, throw the thumbs up in there, mash the thumbs up button because I thought it was pretty fantastic. He shows up today and he's like, hey, I'm going to wear this shirt. And Sabrina says, LOL, hello. Hi, Jamie. Hello from Christiana. Sarah says, hi. All right. Well, we've got quite a few people showing up here today. So let's go ahead and dive into some questions. And I got some ahead of time, so I'm going to start there. Let me see if you've got questions, though. If you've got specific questions about Learning Fund or assets, let us know in the chat box and we will answer your questions right now. Okay, so Chandler, the first thing people want to know is when can they start billing for Learning Fund activities like karate, piano, basketball, gymnastics? When can we start doing that? And when can we start placing orders?
Well, yeah, absolutely. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone. I know it has been a rocky start to the year just because of all the changes. They're great changes, but I just wanted to thank you all for your patience and your support of Epic and the Learning Fund. So to answer that question, vendor services will be beginning within the first week to first 10 days of next month. We are actively working hard to get that system ready to go and making sure that we have everything in tune and set up to accept those invoices. So that answers that first part. The second part of that question is, when can we start placing orders? Well, it's kind of a twofold question right now, because right now we do have a workaround set up in the system so that way we weren't keeping your families, your students away from the materials that they needed. We have opened up an Amazon purchasing program that is kind of a workaround from what we're dealing with SpendBridge, which is our new procurement platform. And we made a couple workarounds so that way we could get orders in from your teachers directly to my team, the Learning Fund. It goes to Jamie's and Shannon's, who are both of my coordinators, and their teams are processing those orders as quickly as they can as soon as they come in.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so Miss Amanda Cole is one of the facilitators with Jen Cross on the parent Facebook page, and they keep us informed like crazy. I'd asked her, when I knew you guys were coming on here, what are some questions that people had? And so she kind of padded this conversation because I don't see that anybody watching has questions right now. So if I'm wrong, throw it in the chat box. Let us know. But another question I had, and Jamie, maybe you can help us with this one. If a computer is older, right? So maybe they got a Chromebook in 2020 or 2019, but they are finding that it's running slower or whatever. How do they replace that Chromebook? And what about a charger? What if they can't find their charger? What do we need to do to get those replaced for people?
So for the chargers, they can go ahead and reach out to tech support either via email or their chat function. They would just have their teacher reach out and they can get that replaced. As far as getting updated technology in the sense of a new Chromebook, I'm not quite sure the process on that. Chandler might have to pick that one up, but I believe it would be along the same lines.
Okay, Chandler, follow up.
Yeah, absolutely. So to follow up with that, Jamie did pretty much get it right on. To replace technology, the first thing we need to do is we always need to make sure that we have tracking for the returned material. So we've worked through many different formats to make sure that we have numerous options available to you all to return those Chromebooks, MiFis, laptops, calculators, anything that you need to return and get replaced. You can either take it to the nearest UPS store and give UPS assistant the code return the number 2 EPIC, and that will facilitate the return process there. They will give you a receipt that you're able to email to us, and we can turn around and get that replacement sent out. We have numerous facility sites across the state that have employees housed in them that can help also facilitate that return. And if that's not convenient, or if you're too far out or away from those areas, you can always email assets@epiccharterschools.org and request return materials, and we'll get it taken for you care of that way.
All right. So throw the thumbs up emoji if you had never seen that or didn't know that information, because that was awesome. Thank you so much. And my kids have been here since year 1. I think they're on their 3rd laptop. So it's a pretty painless process as long as you know what the process is. So thank you for informing us. Okay, there are lots of thumbs up emojis. So you've just informed a great number of people. Let me see here. Angela says, we put my daughter in soccer, not knowing the Learning Fund would not be available yet. What happens with that? And so I'm not sure, Angela, if I know your full question. You will pay the part of the balance until the Learning Funds are able to be billed to the vendor. Am I right on that one, Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I don't want to talk out of turn. Okay, and let me see here. Becky says, when will we know what our balance is? So from previous years, we switched over. We don't have that set up yet, or at least that I know of. When will they know their balance from last year?
That's a great question. With the transition into SpendBridge, as you can imagine, that's a lot of data that we basically laid at their feet and said, please make this into a functioning and beautiful site for you all. It's not being shown yet. I know you guys don't have access to SpendBridge just yet. We are working on that, and that will eventually come. If you have questions or you need to know your balance, you're more than welcome to reach out to us through the Learning Fund email, which is just learningfund@epiccharterschools.org. We'll be more than happy to look that up for you. You can reach out to your teacher. That's going to be the easiest way, is to reach out to your teacher, and they can help facilitate that answer as well.
Wow, that's great information. Thank you so much. Jerry says, we will have to go through our teacher for all Learning Fund orders this year. Jamie, do parents get to place their own orders, or will they go through teachers the entire year?
Unfortunately, this year, with all of our changes that are being made, they are going to have to go through the teachers. It's been fairly painless so far, especially since we are kind of sticking to the smaller group of items that they're placing. For the remainder of the school year, we're also looking like it'll probably be through the teachers. Hopefully next year we'll be back on track and the parents will be able to place them at that time.
Awesome. And I don't know about anybody else, but I always did it for my families whenever I was a teacher anyway, even though they had the capability. I kind of just, the control freak in me maybe, but I wanted to know what they had so that I could help with the tools that they needed as well. And that if they didn't have something, then I can say, hey, let's grab this. So as a teacher, I loved being able to do that. I also thought it brought another level of customer service, but I know that there are probably parents out there that are like me that are control freaks in their own right. No disrespect, just being real. And they probably want to know. And so just bear with us. Thank you so much. This is a growing year as we turn everything as transparent as possible for the state. All right. Will you remind everyone what that UPS code is again, Chandler?
Absolutely. It's the code RETURN, RETURN, the number 2, EPIC, all one word.
Awesome. Okay, and let me see here. Sheila wants to know, when is PowerSchool going to be working correctly? Sheila, that's a great question. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure teachers are getting their training this week on how to integrate. So really, that you can get in there, but there's literally nothing except for your own student information right now. And I think that this is a huge feat for anyone. And when I'm done explaining it, if you can say yes, then say it in there. We took a program that we were told would take 8 to 10 months to build, and we built it in 3 months. We cut that time down ridiculously. We've got some brilliant analysts and coders. I don't even know if that's what you call them. We've got some brilliant people on our side. Thank you. I see the heart emojis going nuts. 3 months, guys. This year was going to be one of those years where we didn't know if we were going to have to keep track of everything in spreadsheets, but they got it done. They got it built. And so there's literally nothing to look at just yet. Yeah, I see some sad faces and mad faces too. And I get it. It's difficult when you're trying to keep up with your kiddos' schoolwork. Let me see. Angela's got a follow-up so they can bill it still and get paid the registration fee, or will we need to pay the full registration fee out of our pocket? And so Angela, that would be a question I think you would just need to talk with the vendor about. I know that we do not open up for those until October 1st. And that was even pushed up. I don't know if many of you were shocked or surprised to see that had changed from November through the board meeting and just kind of, again, the brilliant developers doing what they were going to do. That has moved up an entire month. So Angela, I would check with your vendor to see how they want to work with you on that one. And I apologize, but that's just the way the answer I've got. Tina says, I might have missed something as someone came to the door. Where will we see the information about the Learning Fund? Will this be in the new parent portal? So is that where you think you will house that information? Will they see their SpinBridge stuff in the new parent portal called PowerSchool?
We are working on an API communication link, and don't get me to talking about what that stands for. I just know that that allows 2 systems to talk with each other and share data. So we are working on that, and we're also working on, like we had talked earlier, about getting access to parents as soon as possible. Obviously, we have a goal of next year, but you'll have that access to the system as well, so that way you can check Learning Fund information as well.
Awesome. Let me see here. I have to say, going through a teacher for orders stinks since our teacher is so busy with meeting students in person. And Angela, that we knew that was going to come. It's part of the reason that we've talked about reducing roster sizes. Last year, they were insane because of COVID and the influx of students. So we're kind of leveling things out. Things should be back to normal. And if you have issues, you can email me, Barnes@Epic Charter Schools, and I will see what I can do to help with that as well. And so I apologize. It does stink. You're right, but we're going to do the best we can. Amanda says, Acellus and teaching textbook orders, question mark. Do you have anything to give us on Acellus and teaching textbook orders?
Yes. And there is no denying that the Learning Fund recognizes how crucial and important that those two programs are. We have worked tirelessly with both agencies to try to get to a point where we could implement them in our September supplemental catalogs that would allow students and teachers to have those orders placed earlier. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get their systems working with ours. And so because of that, we did have to push them to the November 1st sprint that we could open them up for purchases. So while I humbly apologize for that delay, I know how much of a learning tool those are. I wish we could get them sooner, but we tried, and it just, we couldn't get it to work out.
Okay. Kelsey, I'm not sure what your comment is, and if you need to email me about a situation going on, please do. She says that she's unable to and can't do it, and we have to wait to do it ourselves. And so, not sure, Kelsey, but will you email me and let me know a little bit more about what's going on with that story? Jerry says, will we be able to order subscriptions? So the Kiwi crates, the Tinker boxes, are those still available to order, Jamie?
Yes, we will be able to look into those for order beginning on November 1st. But as far as the process right now, we should be able to continue forward with those as long as, of course, they're not auto renewing.
Excellent information. That's really handy. Okay. Alicia says, as parents, will we at least get an email with a list of what is available to order, since we have to go through our teachers? And so what kind of things are available to order, Chandler? I know that we've kind of brought things a little more into, we've gotten some clarification about what is educational and such. What kind of things will be available to order once that opens up? Can you give them an idea of what you're looking for?
Absolutely. So just to kind of give a little bit of a backstory to move forward, as of right now, we're working through items that we consider educationally essential. So your workbooks, if you need, pens and paper, be able to write an essay and what have you, we're open for those type of items. Now, come November, we are fully expecting everything to look exactly like it had in prior years. My team has been working through a list through Amazon to make sure that we are in compliance there and that we have it ready to go. And there's over 1 million items that we have approved over the last few years that we're scrubbing through to make sure is available to you all for purchase.
Thank you so much. Sheila says, I've not even been able to get into PowerSchool. Sheila, let us know. There are tickets that you can fill out through the epiccharterschools.org website. Let your teacher know. We will get you that access. I apologize that it's taken so long. Let me see here. Our teacher says, somebody's replying to that. I apologize. Subscriptions, yes, they're being answered. So many people are answering that. Have your teacher reach out to the team. Thank you. Leslie says, so I may have missed this, but are learning funds for activities going to be input by our teachers? And so no, all of our vendors have been, we've reached out to them via email. We've told them the new process for things moving forward. And so nobody through Epic, you don't have to do anything. The vendors know that they put in that PO and we will pay that PO. Now, I did have a question that came from Miss Amanda yesterday, and she was talking about what happens if you get 2 months paid for, and then maybe they have to shut down and for COVID reasons, and they don't get that second month. What happens to that?
That's a great question, and that's something that we've actually had to deal with before last year with the pandemic. Um, in regards to that, that is a complete relationship between you and the vendor. As Epic is the payor for that, we are more than happy to assist when it comes to making sure that the financial aspect is taken care of, and that the classes are paid for upfront or on time in regards to the way that the vendor invoices. But in regards to the actual time and the money spent for those classes, that schedule is solely based upon you and the vendor's discussions and how you set that up.
Very good. Okay. And can you tell me there's another question here that came through from Miss Amanda. She says, what is uh where did your question go, Miss Amanda? I apologize. It was something SPED not approved. What does the code SPED not approved mean?
So obviously, when it comes to special education, um, some of the items that we order for special education do differ from what we will normally approve within the learning fund. A good example of that is a fidget spinner or a wobble chair. To a regular educational student, those are considered toys or not learning fund approved items. When it's a SPED item or special education item, we need to make sure, because none of the people on my team are educators. We went into the back end of this and worked on the administrative side of things. So we have to defer some of those questions because we don't have the inside knowledge or the complete grasp of understanding. So we reach out to the SPED teacher, the special education principal, and even all the way up to the director of the SPED department to ensure that we are approving things that need to be approved or that are beneficial. If you see that designation that says SPED not approved, that typically means that from the SPED director, it was not an approved item that we could purchase within the learning fund.
Awesome. Okay. And rules for ordering seeds, will those be available this year?
We'll let Jamie take that one.
I can take this one.
All right, Jamie.
I'll take this one. To clarify, seeds as in growing, I'm assuming is what you're saying.
I'm thinking,
Erin?
yes, that was the question.
Yes, so we will be approving those grow kits once again. The only thing that we're really looking for is that it's an all-inclusive kit. So that means all items needed for the project would be included: the seeds, soil, instructions. And I do believe that we're looking to stay around $30 of a price limit per kit.
Oh, good information. Thank you. Kristen wants to know, so when we purchase Cellus in November, will it be active for us until the following November? Is it a 1-year purchase?
That's a great question, and honestly, I would need to look that up. I am not familiar with the scope of Cellus's contracts when it comes to a purchase. So if you want to email me, my email is chandler.winningham@epiccharterschools.org. I'd be more than happy to look that up for you and get back with you on that.
Awesome. And Kelsey, my email is Erin.Barnes@epiccharterschools.org. So if you need that, then let me know. And I see lots of thumbs up coming here. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook right this second, but all of a sudden the questions disappeared. Oh my word. Hold on. Maybe they're coming back. Come back. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Miss Amanda's. I know there are 20 questions sitting there waiting, guys. I will refresh my screen, but let me go ahead and ask this question that was given to me last night in the meantime, and I'm going to hit refresh while somebody's talking here. Why do art items need to be purchased in a kit? We only need googly eyes. Is there a way to just buy googly eyes?
Chandler, you want me to take this one?
Yeah, you go for it, Jamie.
Absolutely.
For some of those items, we do have to purchase them all inclusive in a kit. They do have the craft kits that we see a lot of on Amazon. Um, as far as purchasing them separately, um, you kind of get more for your learning fund purchasing them all together. Um, I think, Chandler, did we have any other dictation on why they are just separately? I know since I've been here, that's always been the policy that we've had, is that they do need to come inside of a kit.
Sure. It's across the board, and we implemented that policy to make sure that we are staying within compliance. It kind of melds across all facets of genres and styles of purchases within the learning fund. So, yes, we are talking about art, but going back to the seed question as well, the reason we have everything come in kits is because we have had people request, 30,000 corn seed, or 5 gallons of Elmer's glue. So when it comes to those specific one-off items, we need to make sure that we can justify purchasing the items that we're purchasing, even though, yes, googly eyes are part of art, and it does allow your students to be creative. There is a there is, as much as I hate to say it like this, there is a limitation of how much we can purchase of that said item.
Very good. And I always try to think back to what was the list of things that we had to purchase for my kids before they started coming to Epic. And 5 gallons of glue was never a part of that. So, but I do get that there are science kits and science lessons, stuff like that, that do, like making slime is, a science chemistry type lesson for the little bitties. But making slime for giving away to friends, or making slime, in 500 colors versus just doing it the one time for the academic, necessity of learning that chemistry, is completely different story. Okay, let me see here. I see some laughing faces. I mean, it's true. Okay, where do we order ink and paper from? What kind of ink? What kind of paper? How many reams of paper? How many things of ink? Jamie, can you take that one?
So I can. For those, that's going to be one of the items that we're looking to purchase starting in November. It will still be the standard limitations that we've had in previous years. So $75 worth of ink per student per school year. As for the reams of paper, it would be 2 reams of paper per student per school year. Also keep in mind too, if the student is ordering a school supply kit from us, that also will include the paper as well. We will also, I believe, start picking up with printers again. And once again, those will be the HP printers. But I think we'll be having a different model this year.
Excellent.
So
Thank
just
you
to
for that
follow up,
information. Yeah, go for it.
yeah, if I can follow up for just a second. Initially, the HP printer that we prefer our students to utilize, because it's the one that works best with the Chromebooks, is the HP 5255. Now, because Epic is such a large school, we have very systematically worked through those within Amazon. So we do say that a comparable HP printer that's approximately $150 to $160 will also be approved.
Thank you. And on that note, my kids must think it's 12:30 and that they can start coming behind me. I apologize. That's life working remotely now. We've got just one more minute. I do want to respect your time. Yeah, lots of laughy faces. Thanks, guys. I totally see it. Can't get into PowerSchool. There's so many of you replying to each other. Let me see. 5 gallons of glue sounds like a nightmare. I agree. 2 reams is not enough for an entire school year. Just saying. So sorry, Miss Angela. We do have our own printer. We order from Epic. Do we have to order a printer from Epic? We have our own. So did you answer that? Sorry, I was going through the mortification process over here.
No, much like a lot of the items that we do offer.
Go ahead, Chandler.
Go ahead,
Go
Chandler.
ahead, Jamie. Okay,
Rock,
I'll
paper,
take this. I'll
scissors.
take it. Right. Much like the items that we order, that we offer to our students, none of them outside of a core curriculum is a requirement to purchase.
Okay. Awesome. All right. That is all the time we have. But please, I know you've got questions. You may not have been able to be here live today at noon. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Chandler, for coming in. We will continue to answer those questions all week long. So put them in the chat after you've watched this and let us get back to you. As always, thank you for making EPIC the top place to work and the top place to learn.